Hey beautiful souls, happy Monday. So this is your weekly reading for the week ahead. So this video will find you when it needs to find you, and it's going to help you to understand what needs to be healed to help you to rise into your visibility, your power, and your purpose. So we're going to be uncovering some blocks that need to be released to help you to step into that power and into visibility. So let's have a look with tarot first and just see what we need to know to help us to step into full visibility. Okay, so we have a few cards here. Okay, so let me just put those out the way. So the first card that came out is the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords really talks about the way that we tie ourselves up. So there's definitely fear coming in with this. And, you know, as part of the witch wound that many spiritual women have experienced, right, there is a fear of visibility. If you're visible, you have the potential to be persecuted, tortured, hung, burned at the stake. So that fear of visibility is really, really powerful. And, you know, maybe you're, you know, in your business and you're fearful of doing a live, or, you know, fearful of really showing up in your business and you can't quite put your finger on it. It's quite possible, but that this fear is a fear of visibility that is holding you back and stopping you from showing up. Those fears of persecution, torture, of being hanged, they're all in our DNA, right? They're passed down through lifetimes, through our ancestors. So, you know, whether you've been a witch or not, it is in your DNA. And that fear of visibility can be really, really overwhelming. So that is a big wound that needs releasing. Okay, and the witch wound is far more than just visibility. It's about you know, not charging for your gifts, or, you know, giving everything away for free, or not charging enough, or there's a lot that is entangled in the witch wound. But right now, let's focus on your fear of visibility. This is the wound that is holding you back, the witch wound, and your experiences in past lifetimes where you have been tortured or persecuted for standing up for yourself, for speaking your truth, for, you know, being a mystic or a witch or a healer or a midwife that has been tortured for their gifts. So it's definitely time with the Emperor to stand in your power, right? To make your own rules, to really start stepping away from that masculine energy. We need masculine energy, obviously, because masculine energy is, you know, the doing part, right? So we need to take action. But I really feel that you've been so in your masculine with these fears that it's time to connect into them with intuition, right? To lead you and guide you in your feminine energy so that you can remove these energies, these woundings, trauma imprints, and fears from your DNA, from your whole body system, right? And the Emperor is asking you to, you know, stand firm, to really be proud of who you are, right? Your soul is asking you to remember who you are, to be strong, to be powerful, right? So it's all about being, and being is the feminine rather than the doing. Okay, and we also have the moon. Now, the moon is really connected to our emotions. So we're going into a new moon. We've actually had the new moon, as this comes out on Monday, and the moon is tomorrow, the new moon. So really connect in with intention, right? That energy from the new moon is still there. Connect in with intention to release the fears of visibility. So let's ask the Akashic Records what we need to know about visibility. Okay, so I'm going to ask questions one at a time. So what is the wound that we are ready to release in relation to visibility. Okay, so we have trauma and wounding. Okay, so talking about that wounding, that witch wound that is holding you back. There are many wounds that we hold on to in our DNA, but the one that really connects in with visibility is the witch wound or the prostitution wound, right? So this is a good time to really work with that fear and perhaps work with the whole of the witch wound as well, because there is trauma and there is wounding that is holding you back. And you may have made oaths, vows, contracts and agreements to never be visible, right? You may have vowed that if I'm visible, I will be tortured. So it really does need to be looked at fully so that you can release yourself from all of this energy that is holding you back, that is keeping you stuck in a lack of visibility. And we need visibility for our businesses, right? We need to be able to connect in with our soul clients, right? And the best way that they can find us is online. So we need to be showing up, right? So let's see the truth that our soul wants us to remember, right? Remembrance is really, really important. So what is the truth of what our soul wants us to remember? Okay, so we have visions and ambition, right? So it's really important that we have a vision for our life, for our business, for, all the different parts of our lives, all the different areas. So, family, health, money, relationships, and all of the things. So this is a time to create a really clear vision. And, with the new moon on the 29th of March, this is really, really powerful. Create that vision. The new moon is about setting intentions. So set your intentions to be visible, to clear the wounding, to clear the fear of being visible. Your soul wants you to remember just how powerful you are. And we saw that with the Emperor card as well, right? So you're a multidimensional being, right? And our soul has had many lifetimes across timelines, dimensions, and all of the things. And our soul remembers that, right? We can go into the Akashic Records to connect in with those times, to connect in with the remembrance of our gifts, of our journey, and of our wisdom to help us to move forwards. So this is a really, really good time to connect in with your Akashic Records, right? And create your vision with the Akashic Records, and that will help you in remembrance, because we can bring some of that energy back. We can bring back your soul gifts. We can bring back remembrance of the journey that you've had. Okay, so the aligned action to embody our visibility. So the aligned action, I'm going to pull some tarot as well. So the aligned action to embody our visibility is to remove old contracts and make new soul contracts, right? Soul contracts are there to help us. We've made contracts with many people in this lifetime, and by completing the contracts that stop you from being visible is going to be really, really helpful. But making new contracts around your visibility, right? Making a new contract to stand up, to be seen, to make an impact in the world is going to be the most aligned action that you can take. And we also had alchemy and magic. So it really is about standing in your power, standing in your magic, transforming those fears into something far more powerful to help you to move forwards, right? To release yourself from the energy of those fears. So I'm just going to see if the tarot want to add anything else to this reading. Bear with me, I've got half the deck up the wrong way. Okay, so is there anything else to add to this reading? Okay, so we have strength, right? We have strength, we have the Magician, And we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is very much someone that perhaps hides in the shadows. A lot of emotions with the cups. So the emotion of the fears is the thing that is holding you back, right? The emotion that fear sparks is the thing that is holding you back. So really working on the emotional side of the fears is going to be really powerful. The Magician talks about your magic, right? Tapping into the wisdom and the knowledge of your soul to help you to move forwards, and tapping into your strength, your inner strength. We're now in Aries, right? Aries is all about that courage to take those steps towards leadership, towards the things that it is that you want. So let me know how this reading resonates with you and what action steps you're going to be taking to help you to move through fear of visibility, fear of really showing up for yourself and for your business. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Ciao for now.